What is up, you guys, and welcome to the Chosen League podcast, where Fire Sports content is the name of the game. I'm your host, Devin. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload an episode. Watch this episode all the way to the end because I don't want you guys missing out what I have in store for you today. So, the Boston Celtics and the Portland Trailblazers made a trade. The Boston Celtics are trading Jrue Holiday to the Portland Trailblazers for Anfernee Simmons and two second-round draft picks, sources told ESPN on Monday night. Portland moved aggressively to reacquire Holiday, whom the franchise originally received from the Milwaukee Bucks in the Damian Lillard trade in 2023 and later moved to Boston. Simmons joins Boston on an expiring contract while Holiday is owed around $72 million in the 2026-27 season and the 2027-28 season. The deal saves Boston $40 million in luxury tax payments next season, according to ESPN's Bobby Marks. Question for discussion: who won this trade, Boston Celtics or the Portland Trailblazers? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Honestly, this is good for Boston, low risk, high reward. Because if they would have kept, I believe if they would have kept Jrue Holiday, they would have been in that luxury tax bracket, and it would have been hard for them to get out of that because they were going to, like I said, they were going to have to pay Jrue Holiday what he's worth. And also, you're looking at, you still have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Pritchard, so many other players that played a part in them winning their first championship. And so with Anfernee Simmons coming in, what he provides is a scoring boost. So when you look at it, 9 times out of 10, when Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown's on the court, they're doing what they need to do, providing that scoring boost, keeping the game alive by staying ahead by a big margin. But when it comes to putting out, sending Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to the bench to get rest, you have Anfernee Simmons, you have Derek White, you have Pritchard, you have those guys to keep it going, keep building on to the scoreboard, keep building onto the score instead of being in a situation where, okay, I allow I'm letting Jaylen Brown them rest for like 5, 6 minutes, seven tops, and then getting them back in the game so we can maintain the lead and be up. So I believe with Anfernee Simmons coming in, he provides that scoring boost and also that role of being a facilitator. And Jaylen Brown does it all. He facilitates as well. So I believe that takes the burden off of Jaylen Brown. And also, you got to understand, by them trading Jrue Holiday and getting Anfernee Simmons, you're basically getting a younger player. So Anfernee Simmons, who's 26, going into his eighth season, versus Jrue Holiday, who is 35, going into his 17th season. You get a younger player who still has that, brings that energy and keeps this team going with high energy and fast paced offense. And so with Simmons, averaging 19.3 points, 2.7 rebounds, 4.8 assists, he's going to be that guy that they're going to be able to depend on moving forward. So I love the trade for Boston. I still believe Boston still has a chance of winning another championship. They tried to go for a back-to-back. They weren't successful. Jason Tatum dealing with the injury. So it's not over for them. But unlike the Blazers, not so likely. Blazers haven't been the same since Damian Lillard left the Portland Trail Blazers. So when you look at what does Holiday provide for Portland, well, it's mainly defense, leadership because he's a vet. He has the experience. He can give the Blazers, those young guys, help in areas that they need to improve their game and also build that team chemistry. So defense, leadership, scoring, and being a facilitator as well. Holiday, who averaged 11.1 points, 4.3 rebounds, 3.9 assists. He's entering his 17th season, 35 years of age. And you have to look at what he's working with on this Blazers roster. Jeremy Grant, who at the time was playing, with the Thunders. Now he's over with the Portland Trailblazers. Just fell off the face of the earth. Haven't even heard from Jeremy Grant in a minute. Jeremy Grant, Shaden Sharp, who is a pure scorer, DeAndre Ayton, Scoot Henderson, and Donovan Clingan. So he has a bit to work with. It just depends on what the Portland Trailblazers are going to do moving forward this season. Because now you got Jrue Holiday. Does does he have that impact like Dame had in Portland? Only time will tell. But at the same time, he is a champion, so he should bring a bit of notoriety to the Portland Trailblazers, put fans in the seats, and get them going. But overall, Boston won this trade. They're going to have to figure out moving forward how can they balance out the contracts between the players that they have, what moves that need to be made so they can be out of that luxury tax. Because once you get into that luxury tax, it's hard. Look at the Lakers. They're still in the same situation that they've been in. They were trying to get a big man, but they were stuck in luxury tax because they had players like at the time Westbrook was there, took on his contract. So now Boston still has to take on that contract of Jrue Holiday and pay him what he owes. But in the end, they're getting a low risk, high reward with Anfernee Simmons. That is all for today's episode. Once again, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload an episode. I'm Devin, and I'm signing off.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show.